Hey, friends! Barky Dog here, back with another movie review. This time, we're taking a look at a movie starring Tom Selleck, a sexy chick, and a mystery. What more could you possibly want? Well, in this case, much more. I'm talking about Her Alibi from 1989. Our story goes like this. One day, a murder is committed, and the cops call her a communist cutie named Nina. She apparently hails from Romania and delays judicial proceedings by pretending she can't speak English. Meanwhile, Magnum is in a career crisis. He writes detective novels, bad ones, with a cheesy Bond-like self-insert character. His wife dumped him several years ago, and he's been in a career slump ever since. His publisher is trying to get him to write something good. For inspiration, Selleck goes to a courtroom to see what local color he can pick up, a standard practice for mystery writers. In fact, some of his writer friends are there. And there he lays eyes on the colored commie cutie as she's arraigned for the crime. He decides to meet this beautiful beauty and passes himself off as a priest so he can meet her privately. He decides she's innocent, mostly on account of her being hot and sexy. Can't blame him there. So he decides to be her alibi, saying they were together at the time of the murder. The cops don't buy it, but what can they do? To maintain the cover story, Miss Sexy Knickers has to move in with Magnum and stay with him until the heat's off. Or until things heat up. Soon the KGB turns up and starts stalking the pair, since Romania was still being run by the Soviets when this picture was made. So what does Tom let himself in for anyway? Is Nina an innocent, cute and sexy chick? Or is she a marauding murderess? Is she more than a mere killer? Is she a spy or an assassin? She won't tell, and all Magnum knows is that he's fallen for her like a ton of bricks. But are those bricks gonna land on his head? Is Nina innocent, or is she a no-good, rotten Romanian Ruski? In our cast, we have Tom Selleck, who was just off Magnum P.I, and he still had a superstar status. This film was meant to be a sort of stepping stone for Selleck to maybe try his hand at motion pictures. A natural evolution for a guy with his stature. Sadly, it didn't work out this way. After this movie, he did Quigley Down Under and Mr. Baseball, but amongst those, he had a few other misfires and eventually went back to television, which is too bad. He just never found the right starring vehicle to make a hit, and that's a shame given the guy's talent. He's just as good, if not better, than other stars who successfully made the leap from the small screen to the large one, like George Clooney. But most of Tom's success has been limited to television. The hot and sexy chick is played by supermodel Paulina Porizkova. Bit of typecasting there, if you ask me. This was more or less her first starring turn, having previously appeared in music videos for Drive by the Cars and Hungry Eyes by Eric Carmen. She's alright here. Her job is to be sexy, mostly, and she knocks that out of the park. Acting-wise, she's fair, but again, who's paying attention? She was nominated for a Razzie for this role. We also have William Daniels from Saint Elsewhere, and more famously, I think, as the voice of the Night Industries 2000. K.I.T.T from Knight Rider. James Ferrantino plays a police detective, and Patrick Wayne, John Wayne's son, plays Selleck's brother. So this movie is kind of a letdown, despite having some good stuff in it. Most of that good stuff being Tom Selleck. Bruce Beresford directed this picture, and he had made Breaker Morant in 1980, and he directed Driving Miss Daisy the same year as this movie. So you know he was no fool, and he knew his way around the director's chair. The score is lush and really interesting. Selleck is great, Porizkova's attractive, so what went wrong here? Well, I think the big problem is that the movie is at odds with itself. On the one hand, it wants at turns to be a serious mystery thriller. Then it wants to be a romantic comedy, and then a screwball slapstick comedy. It doesn't know what it wants to be, and as a result, it's uneven. The slapstick elements always seem intrusive. They often make the bad guys look buffoonish instead of dangerous. I think I would have much preferred if this were a straight-up mystery thriller, or maybe with the romantic comedy elements, but without the slapstick stuff. That would have helped. Still, a lot of the comedy mostly revolves around Nina talking about Romanian customs, and Selleck doing a voiceover as his self-insert superstar detective, both of which get old fast. Anyway, behind the scenes, Selleck and Porizkova wound up hating each other, and things got so bad that by the end of filming, they refused to be in the same room together. In order to make this movie poster, Beresford had to basically Photoshop this picture before there was Photoshop in order to make it look like the couple are embracing. They were both photographed separately. You know what? They did the same thing here with the poster for Pretty Woman. That's not Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, but two models with the actors' heads photoshopped on. That's not Julia Roberts' ass right there. That's another woman's ass. Just saying. Anyway, it's a shame Selleck didn't get a better break. Her Alibi is alright so far as it goes, and it's kind of amiable. Selleck carries the thing, and it's on the strength of his personality that the movie keeps you engaged. The mystery of Nina's past is not allowed to get as intriguing as it could have been, but there are hints of possibility there. And I liked Daniels too. His scenes are fun. I think in the end, the real villain of the piece was an uneven script more than anything else. Things just didn't gel. They just didn't come together in this one. So I'm giving Her Alibi 2 paws up. Hey, you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.